Coming up in today's video, the luxury market in Toronto has hit headlines as it's dropped over 35% year over year. Let's dive into it. No surprise there, but we're going to talk about it coming up next. Pow! Welcome to the channel, Jakobczak here. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell button for more market updates on the Toronto market. Today we're tackling the luxury market, condos, and also detached single homes. Now, this is a report from RE/MAX, just released their annual sales report, and the surprising numbers and not so surprising numbers. Luxury market in Toronto taking a hit, also obviously in Vancouver. This is Canada's two biggest markets. Now, both these markets we obviously introduced the foreign buyers tax, and since then have been feeling the pain of what has come, obviously with interest rates rising again today, and foreseeing them continue to go up. This is going to be no surprise moving forward. I'm going to be tackling, obviously the numbers go over that, but also I looked up the months of inventory in the last 30 days of what's happening right now today, just to give you an idea of what's going on. Obviously, if you're looking to buy, could be a buying opportunity. If you're looking to sell, you're going to rearrange and analyze accordingly and definitely build a plan of action to move forward. Now, looking at the numbers, when we look at the luxury market in terms of condos from last year to this year, fairly decent. Now, they're saying basically, due to millennials getting into the market from inheritance money and a lot of baby boomers downsizing and getting into obviously the more luxury side of the market due to square footage and all that. The numbers are pretty decent. You have a 2% increase on $1 to $2 million range, 13% decrease from the $2 to $3 million range, which, like I said, with all the factors from last year and what's happened since, this is obviously not as bad as single detached. Now, in the 3 million plus range, there's virtually no change there with 37 sales to date. The most expensive unit went last year for 8 million. Today we're sitting at 11.5 million. So again, an increase there, which is nice to see. Now, in the single detached market, obviously this is where the somewhat good news ends, because when you look at the numbers, you're looking at 1 to 2 million range, a drop of 35%. As we continue to move further up, this obviously number jumps. The 2 to 3 million range, you're looking at 50% drop in sales. Now, 3 million range, you're looking at a 44% drop. On a high last year, 16 million, we this year at 18.25 million sold. So, that's obviously positive there, but not obviously a good indication of what's going on with the market. Now, there's no surprise that these numbers are, continuing to trend down in a spiral direction, mainly because obviously we've been hit with all these foreign buyer tax and, transfer fees going up, school fees going up, interest rates continue to go up. Like I said, with the news continue to, hit that affordability is off the hook. A lot of people that are either in this price range, if they haven't sold, the downsize or move out of the city, there's not many options for them to do. So you're seeing staying put. People getting into this price range, obviously, again, on the sidelines to see what's going on with the market, if it's going to continue to trend down. Maybe look for a buying opportunity in the next little months here. Now, what I did next was look at what's currently going on in the last 30 days and where we're at right now with the luxury market, because these numbers are obviously from the whole year up until September 30th. So just looking at months of inventory. Now, when I'm talking about, this is a metric I love looking at because it looks at, currently what's in the market and then what's sold, and factor in if no more listings came up, how long the inventory would be absorbed. Now, to me, this is the best metric to, if you are looking to time the market, follow this number, because if this number is continuing to trend down or up, it will dictate where prices are going, mainly because supply and demand. Now, just to go over the categories that we're looking at here, when you are when months of inventory is under 4 months, you're looking at a seller's market, which mainly Toronto as a whole has been like this up until in the lower prices range, and then up until the peak, it was all pretty much heavy seller's market, because we saw as low as under 1 month of inventory, which hasn't happened in over 20 years. Now, a balanced market, you're going to be looking at 4 to 5 months of inventory, and a buyer's market, 5 months plus. So keep that in mind when we're looking at obviously the luxury market or any market that you're ever analyzing, or your specific market, because you can, I pull these numbers when I'm looking at listings or going to obviously a listing presentation. I find exactly what's happening in the community, the area, the surrounding area, and kind of gauge with how properties are selling to obviously price accordingly. Now, as we look at the luxury condo market, what's happened in the last 30 days, like I said, I pulled the numbers from September 24th to October 24th of what's currently going on right now, so we can get a better picture of where we're really at instead of just looking at the whole total year. Now, in the $1 to $2 million range, you have right now 246 active listings in the Toronto market, 60 sold since September 24th. So current months of inventory is 4.1, which brings you into the balanced market. Obviously on the low end of it, so if that number drops, obviously is going to go towards the seller's market. But right now, balanced. In the $2 to $3 million range, numbers are roughly the same. Only 38 active listings, 9 which have sold. Again, months of inventory around the same, 4.2. Now, when we look at the $3 million range, this is where the numbers jump up, staggering, because 33 active listings, only 4 have sold, bringing months of inventory to 8.3. So obviously, if you're in the buying side of this, you're going to want to shop around. You have the edge, as there's not too many buyers in this bracket. Now, if you're going to sell, this is where it gets interesting, because you definitely want to, if you haven't had an agent come through or different agent, definitely want to interview a few, see their marketing strategy, because it's not as simple as just putting it on the market. You have to do a lot more extensive marketing, and depending on your price range and where your property is located, you're going to want to tackle this a little bit different. So keep that in mind when you're looking to sell. Now, jumping over to the single detached luxury market, when we look at $1 to $2 million range, you have 889 active listings, 288 sold. So when you divide those, that's 3.1 months of inventory. Now, when you look at the categories, that brings it into a seller's market. Now, jumping up to 2 to 3 million, these are where the numbers are going to start to climb. 393 active listings, only 80 sold in the last 30 days. That's 4.9 months of inventory. So again, if this number continues to climb, like we're sitting in the balanced market right now, but obviously if it climbs up, you're looking at a buyer's market. So you want to pay attention to that price range. When we jump up to 3 million plus, you have 3,099 active listings. Only 356 have sold, so 8.7 months of inventory. So again, obviously if you're on the buying side, you're gonna have a lot more time. Your conditions, you can have multiple conditions in your offer. Now, as for sellers, this is where it gets interesting, because when you go to hire a listing agent, you definitely want to listen to them and find out how they're really marketing your property, because again, what 8.7 months of inventory is really saying is out of 9 properties, one's going to sell that month. So when you look at your surrounding area, who's selling, what's sold, when you're pricing your property, this is what you're going to be kind of seeing what people are doing. Why is your property, one of the nicer ones? And if it is, are you priced accordingly? So this is what really got to be paying attention if you're looking to sell in the next couple months. Now, moving forward, obviously, I think these numbers are going to continue to climb or trend down, just because, or trend up, we'll say, because obviously interest rates are coming. The winter months are upon us. It's going to start slowing down as the holidays approach us. So to me, if you're looking to sell, you definitely want to look to price, more competitively of what's been sold. versus waiting on the market. If you're gonna wait, you might as well wait till January comes and let the market kind of cool down right now and begin to heat up in the as the new year comes and the spring months jump up. So hope this gives you an insight of what's going on in the luxury market, guys. Like, comment, share. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Are you looking to buy? Are you looking to sell? What are you looking for? I'd love to hear your comments, guys. Like, comment, share, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.